Hi, just in time for your Cancer September 2020 tarot reading and forecast. I'm Nigel Saint James and it's great to see you back again. Great to see the subscribers back again. In particular, we have the best time here, don't we? We have the best family on the internet with our tarot musings that we have here and forecasts as to what is going to happen. Now, this deck that I'm going to use today, and actually the subscribers, I've seen a number of you in private readings over the course of the last month, haven't I? It's been great to get to know you personally. And actually, if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, one-on-one, over Skype or FaceTime or something, just check out the information that's in the description box and you can see how easy it is for that to happen. But let's get things underway. Actually, the developer of this deck, incidentally, has provided an actual card for Cancer, which you can have a look at in just a second. This deck is an independent deck, which is no longer in print and will never be reprinted, we are told by the artist. So you are looking at something which is not only beautiful, but something which is going to be historical. Well, let's see what there is in store for you. I'm going to draw 5 cards, as is usual, because that's all we need to see the messages that are coming through. The 9 of Wands. Lovely, lovely paintings. There's the Death card. Wow. You're going to love this. I do. I'm actually quite excited. There's the 7 of Coins. This deck is one that I use to very good effect. There's the Hierophant, the very good effect in private readings with people. And there's the 3 of Cups. It is something that it's just, I seem to be on the same vibration as it seems. But look, why don't you now come and sit down next to me? We'll have a good close look at these cards together while I do the reading for you. Okay, I said that I'd show you this card for Cancer that the artist has made. Incidentally, next month's reading will be published on the 9th of September at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. There's the back of the card. Let's have a look at this Cancer image that the artist has provided you. Now, I'm not strictly reading it as part of the tarot, of course, because I didn't deal it in, but I am getting some energy up from it, and it is talking about belonging, community, home, gifts, but also crying in the shower and sort of the shrugging of your shoulders while you say, "I'm fine." I think that this is an energy here, this card, when I look at it, that says, it asks you to look to women. It is a card of feeling and your feelings, of using intuition and emotional responses. But it is also a sign of looking back, I think, to see what is lost or has been left behind. It's also about, therefore, tradition and history. Our crab friend here then is also bringing along her scarab beetle, which was what ushered in the sun each day in ancient Egyptian mythology and is particularly auspicious. Let's have a look now. I'll move that away because I'm going to deal with the cards that you drew, and let's have a look at this one first. The 9 of Wands. Let's have a look at this. Quite an interesting scene. It is for me, of course, in the position that it's in at the top up here. It is the moon ruling the 2nd decan of Sagittarius, the 3rd to the 12th of December. Now, for me also, I have in this number 9 here, mystically, I have associated with 9 the moon as well. So I have the moon ruling Sagittarius and the moon in the number 9. So you have a double lunar influence, as the moon is ruling both the decan and also the number. This card for me is the Lord of Great Strength. It's talking about you having power gained through unifying conscious and unconscious energies. There is with you great determination and strength of character, courage under fire, and defending what you have worked for, and in particular, a very strong belief in yourself. It really is a card of great endurance, I think. You will have the ability to endure any difficulties or tasks that need to be undertaken, and you'll do them well because you'll be able to reach down into yourself and discover new depths of strength and power that you never thought you had. Now, you may encounter obstacles, of course, but the point is this, that you'll have the strength to overcome them. Now, when this card turns up in this position like this with these others around it, you can be reassured that you have what it takes to get by. Even in times of difficulty and stress, inner strength is going to rise up and guide you towards your goal. And in the process, you'll learn more about yourself and your abilities and gain a new all-round perspective, which is going to bring security and self-confidence. I think you'll be in the process of discovering your real strength, and trust your inner guide during this time. And ask yourself this: are you actually a little afraid of your own strength? In what areas in your life does this fear come up? And I would definitely pay attention to your dreams at this time and have this thought in mind: I know more and more clearly who I am. This recognition leads to the full development of my potential strength. Well, let's have a look at the card underneath it, shall we, which is the Seven of Coins. Such other very good cards that are here. And let's have a look at this one. What did I say it is? The Seven of Coins. Let's have a look. And what do you mean, Seven of Coins? Well, this is Saturn in the third decan of Taurus where it's placed. Saturn is the slow-moving and restrictive planet, whereas Taurus is the plodding, fixed earth sign, and together you might think that they result in stagnation. I think this card signifies a time of waiting. All things need to gestate, and this is a time of incubation. Something is developing, but it is out of sight. Now, often you can become discouraged or restless in this situation, can't you? Thinking that nothing is happening. But something is happening. Something new is being formed in the dark reaches of consciousness, in the cocoon, the cave, the womb. Now, in shamanic terms, for me, this refers to a descent into the underworld, the body of earth where we meet our animal guides. You may also experience a descent into your human body in a deeper way. Now, I think what's here is that something is incubating. It may be a creative project, a new development in a relationship, or your work life, or some aspect of the situation at hand. And perhaps what is incubating is part of you that is getting ready for the next unfoldment. Now, be patient. Remember that things are changing, because I see this card here. And even when you can't see it, things are changing. There isn't much you can do right now, but wait it out and protect your space, honoring the natural rhythm of things. Let's have a look at this card here. This looks familiar, this Hierophant, as an energy associated with you. I don't know why. Well, this time what we have is Venus in Taurus, with the moon exalted. And Taurus, of course, is an earth sign, and it emphasizes the importance of applying your spiritual realizations in the day-to-day world. I think what it means is that you may well find that you end up in a role sort of by accident, being in a sense for some people a teacher or a counselor or a consultant. There may be, I think, the requirement for you just at the moment to follow Rules, I wouldn't go setting up any Bolshevik revolutions just at the time, because this is a sort of go with the flow energy that I'm getting here. That could well mean that you may well go through a period of quite intense learning and education. That doesn't have to be formal, but it might be things such as looking things up on the internet and just informing yourself further of things which have got to do with the interests that are in your life. It's particularly good energy, this, for someone who's in a large organization. Possibly, I'd say also that there is the opportunity here to really start things, to be an initiator. It's about group identity as well, and large institutions. The status quo is what I'm getting, so just keep things as they're going. Seeking counsel and advice. Not only will you, I think, be giving advice to people, but I think that you'll use the opportunity to get advice from other people. And the advice that you get and the advice that you give in both aspects of these are going to be good. I think what we can also say is that you're going to be very gifted at imparting information to other people and also inspiring other people. I think you might find yourself very attracted during this period, maybe uncharacteristically, towards sounds or music. And you'll be very good at listening and speaking. And you have the great desire to, and you will, make your ideas tangible. You're going to have the desire to be challenged by new experiences. Yeah. I think the search for yourself might lead you into some sort of spirituality. Now, that's something which is different to religion, of course, but there may well be that particular interest that's coming through here. And maybe you should involve yourself with the teachings of spiritual masters over the period. Check up a few things on the internet. Say to yourself that the only voice worth listening to is the voice of my own heart. I love and honor the sacred within me. I am inspired by learning and teaching. I am creative and productive in my family and professional life. Yeah, particularly good card for you, Cancer, at this time of the year. Let's have a look at this one. This is the card of death. Hello, death. Well, death, the child of the great transformers, the lord of the gate of death. This is Mars ruling Scorpio. But Mars here, which is the planet of fiery energy in its lowest form, very aggressive, rambunctious, and in the energy of Mars here in its lowest form is necessary to provide the impulse for change. I think what we see here is death and resurrection, transformation, becoming free of old ensnarements and external changes. Now, there may be some endings around you. There may be some endings, and I think that you'll be letting go of emotional attachments to things that no longer serve you. You may find that there is appearing the end of a cycle, in some sense, that you have outgrown something. Saturn ruling this, very, very, very interesting planet, because it's about bringing about order. It's about bringing you back into the right path that you were born to. And so there is something in your life which is dying or dissolving or disintegrating. Now, whether this has or is a structure that you have created, or a pattern of thought, perhaps, or a habit, or a way of thinking about yourself and the world. Well, this is necessary for new beginnings and transformation in your life, because this is a period here of great transformation and also of facing your darkest fears. But remember that the darkest hour is just before the dawn, and in order to grow and abandon the old, death is your protection against stagnation. You are forced to leave behind what you have outgrown. It's also about facing fears and breaking limits. You need to grow to learn your life's lessons. Sometimes this can show up as a sort of a crisis period, but I don't think that's going to be the case with you. But I'd say that what is also the situation here is that you're now ready to make the necessary changes in your life and accept any pain that may come with the loss of the old. And ask yourself this: to what outdated relationships or situations are you clinging? Say this to yourself: I now say yes to death, yes to myself, and I let go of people and situations with ease and dignity. Every ending heralds the new beginning, as it certainly does for you. Then that takes us, does it not, to this card, which is the Three of Cups. A very minimalist sort of deck, this, isn't it? Don't you think? It's quite nice, though. I like the artwork on this. Well, here we have the Three of Cups. Well, down here and below death, this is Mercury in the second decan of your sign, Cancer. That's second to the 11th of July. Now, Cancer is the most maternal of the signs and well placed with this number 3 here. 3 is about gestation, almost about pregnancy, giving form and developing life. So it's well placed with this 3. Now, Cancer, of course, is a sign where people communicate with feeling and convey a sensitive and thoughtful, gentle and intuitive sense of who they are and what is going on. Now, Mercury, of course, Mercury is about the will and communications, and it's placed in Cancer, so you'll be able to express your feelings fully with people that you are close to, and this is only going to enrich your life, I think, really is. It can also refer to, I think, the birth of an idea, or the birth of a child even, that you may hear of. You'll be sharing successes with other people, and life is going to be feeling good for you, and it's a good time for you to tell other people that you love them. Are there people towards whom you haven't yet outwardly expressed the love that you feel for them? Say this to yourself, that today life gives me everything I need to be happy. Enjoy your riches at the moment, but be aware of their limitations and see them for what they are. Do you know, in many decks, there's a sense of this card being abundance, right? The meaning is given of one of abundance, but I actually see it more as the receiving of grace, because abundance is not something that is earned, but something that is given freely. Now, your challenge to receive grace and abundance is to receive it. And this is, really largely a matter of perception, caught in the inflated expectations of modern culture that we all live in, and our own personal deprivation stories. Sometimes it's possible that you don't recognize how fortunate you are, and you can get stuck in what isn't quite right and lose awareness of how much you do have going for you, Giving thanks and practicing gratitude are part of what can open you to receive. When you revel in what you are given, A sense of plenty saturates your consciousness and it colors your perception. So rather than feel frustrated and deprived, you feel blessed. You experience the world as a generous and responsive place. It is as if the world, like a good parent, sees you and meets you. And if your feelings, needs, and essential nature were not adequately mirrored as a child, and you haven't made up for this, then it will be harder to experience the world as meeting you in this way, because without adequate mirroring, you can wilt inside and can feel wrongly inadequate and disconnected. Doubting yourself, you can be unable to stay in your power or hold your seat. Your more limited sense of self, along with a view of the world as withholding, makes it harder to receive the grace that is being given to you. Now, one of the compensations that can issue from this situation is that of extreme reliance, Cancer. Not expecting anyone to be there for us. You become determined to take care of yourself, and this creates a hard shell that makes you less receptive, or can make you less receptive to others' generosity. We're both less receptive to the help of other people and to support from the unseen realms. To open to grace, you must relax and trust a little. You must let go of unworthiness and other attitudes that get in the way. It is essential to move away from old deprivation stories and scarcity consciousness and see what is actually there. This energy here is inviting you to recognize and work through the barriers and shift your perspective to one of gratitude and abundance. And I'm sure you will be able to do that. What a particularly interesting spread of cards. Great job. You did a great job in that. Well done. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, there you go, September 2020, another month and a step closer to the end of the calendar year. Let's all keep our spirits up, shall we, during this time. I think there's some aggravation yet to happen, but you are going to be fine according to that reading, and that's the most important thing. And in any event, I want you until next month to remember one thing always, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.